Jacob Zuma is expected to address the conference today. The conference has entered its second day at the Royal Showgrounds in Pietermaritzburg. And our reporter Ayanda Mhlongo joins us live from the conference. Ayanda, a very good morning to you. Look, reports indicate that there was a serious delay in the verification of delegates. Please tell us more.
Well, absolutely. It has been a long night for the delegates. The verification of the delegates was in fact supposed to have taken place last night. We were also expecting that the election of the the new leaders was also going to take place last night. But then there were issues. We understand that there were reports of allegations of the manipulation of numbers. And as a result, the conference then decided that they were going to do individual verifications. What we understand is that last night, and that was after midnight, on the early hours of this morning rather, delegates were asked to leave the hall, and one by one, according to the branches, they were then counted, and just to ensure that those people that are a part of this conference, particularly the delegates are going to be voted, are the ones that are on the list that have been submitted by the branches. After that counting process or the verification process, the delegates that will be participating in the voting stand at 1,463. At the moment, as we talk to you, the nominations process is continuing. Again, this was supposed to have taken place last night, but due to that lengthy verification process, they've had to move it, and it is now taking place currently as we speak. The names now that we have and that we can confirm, the position of a chairperson, that is one that has really been much talked about in the build-up to this conference, is the Premier of the province, Ayanda Mhlongo. He's contesting the position of chairman with Sihle Zikalala, who is currently the secretary of the ANC in the province. The deputy, if I can just run through that, the deputy position that has been nominated from the floor, we have Peggy Nkonyeni, who was the treasurer, and as well as Willis Mkhunu, who was the deputy chairperson. They've again been nominated for the position of deputy chair. The secretary is Mr. Jacob Zuma. He is currently the chairperson of the Moses Mabhida region, and we also have Nhlakanipho Ntombela, who will be contesting that position of a secretary. At the moment, we understand that there is some issues with regard to the nomination of deputy secretary. One name has been put forward, and as Mluleki Ndobe, but there is an issue with regards to another nomination or name that was raised from the floor. Also, the NEC members that have been here since yesterday observing this conference, they are now trying to deal with that matter just before leaving the conference to come out and chat to the treasurer or the TG of the ANC, Dr. Zweli Mkhize. He was busy trying to deal with that particular issue, and urging delegates, of course, to work together with the NEC so that they can move forward. They have to obviously get through that issue of the nominations before they can start the voting process. We've also, of course, as you alluded to, the fact that President Jacob Zuma is expected to come and deliver an address today. The president was expected to be here yesterday, but he'll now be addressing delegates. We had expected him to be around at 10:30 or so. That is when we were told the president would be addressing the delegates. But we do not know at the moment with regards to now this issue of the nominations, which is still going ahead, and we understand that there are now problems with that, whether or not the president's address will probably be shifted a little bit later to midday. But as we continue to update you, of course, on the conference and what is happening at the conference, we will later on be getting an exact indication as to when President Jacob Zuma is expected to arrive here.
Look, Ayanda, thank you so much for giving us those numbers and names. Also, look, there's speculation of internal factions and divisions, especially with the KZN members. Is this the general notion on the ground, though? What have you observed?
Well, absolutely. I think the ANC leaders has said that it has been a bumpy road. In fact, just some people that we have been speaking to are saying that the ANC has never, in the province, really has never been as divided as they are ahead of this conference. Clearly, there have been two factions that have been merged, and that is, of course, from the positions that have been nominated or through the contestation of the positions of leadership. And that is what the NEC and the provincial leaders have been trying to get across course, have been trying and deal with. Dr. Zweli Mkhize, in fact, has said that he understands that there are divisions as a result of this election, but they're trying to bring the delegates or the members of the ANC together. Yesterday, of course, the ANC chairperson, Mambaleka Mbete, stressing that matter of unity. In fact, she said that contestations of this nature are normal in the ANC, but enemies should not be created, and urging the members to set aside their differences, understanding that yes, they may be supporting different candidates, different leaders, but of course this is for the ANC. Also urging them to look beyond the nomination, that this conference is more about moving the ANC forward, unifying the ANC. The issues, we're also expecting the commissions to take place where the delegates were going to be discussing policy issues. We don't know at the moment whether or not that will be able to take place while they're trying to deal with this issue around the election. But what was important for the ANC is the direction that the ANC is going to be taking forward after this conference. You know, of course, that we are moving to a local government election, which is around the corner. That is of paramount importance to the ANC. After this conference, they still need to come back and deal with the candidates for the local government elections, go through and select their candidates. Like most provinces, KwaZulu-Natal has had a number of service delivery protests and issues on the ground, and a conference like this is supposed to unifying the ANC so that after that they're able then to nominate or come up with those candidates for the election. That is what they're saying is of critical importance. The other matter that is of very importance is that we had the eThekwini Regional Conference, which has not sat as yet due to the divisions and the rifts. The ANC, that conference has been aborted twice and has been postponed several times, and the decision then was to hold the Provincial Conference before the eThekwini Conference. So as well, after this conference, the ANC has to go back and sort out issues around the eThekwini region so that that conference can sit. Again, there's been issues with the municipality. There's been concerns that the councillors have been so much engaged in issues and the battles around the election of the leaders and in the eThekwini region that it has affected the service delivery. So they would want to honestly get through the elections, elect the new leaders, get through these conferences so they can move forward as a party.
Look, Ayanda, I know you touched on it earlier, but please, it's day 2 now of the conference. Take us through the rest of the program for today. What is expected to be discussed despite the leadership?
Well, today, as I mentioned, we are waiting. I think the most important will be that address by President Jacob Zuma. It will be interesting to see what the president will be saying. He's likely, of course, to also considering what has been taking place here in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. The president has even been here ahead of this conference. He has met with the PEC to try and resolve the issues that the province was faced with. So it will be interesting to see what the president will be saying to the delegates. Thereafter, we're expecting the commissions to take place where the delegates will now be talking on various policy issues, and they were then going to update us on the positions that the province of KwaZulu-Natal is going to take on regarding the policy issues. And then, of course, it will be the way forward for the ANC. Tomorrow, we're expecting the conference to wrap. There was going to be that closing address, and it was expected that around midday tomorrow, the conference will then wrap up.
Thank you so much for that. That is Ayanda Mhlongo live to us in Pietermaritzburg at the ANC's conference.